What's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know. So we're back again, once again, for our second mock draft video of the week. Yeah, I did a mock draft earlier. It was the first round, but a lot of things changed. The Dolphins, they were busy little boys. They're making some moves. 2 first-round trades. Go Dolphins. Fins up. I like their spunk. But we're going to go ahead. We're going to do a mock draft. This time it's going to be 2 rounds. There are trades. So there's going to be, I think, like 4 in the first round. And then I have a couple in the second. But go ahead. Become a bro and subscribe. Leave that thumbs up if you enjoy the content. And, of course, indulge in that nice football discourse in the comment section below. It helps the video out a ton. And I know you want to tell me how much you hate my draft. So let's chat it up. But without further ado, let's get into it. You already know the first pick's going to be Trevor Lawrence. On top of that, you're going to see up here, code BROSHMO. We have been streaming quite frequently throughout the week. And this code BROSHMO is for Walk the Mock. It's a live draft simulator where you can draft against people in real time. And that's what we've been doing on our streams. You could come and draft against likes of me and some of the viewers there. You have to be a premium member at Walk the Mock, but fret not. Promo code BROSHMO, all caps, uppercase. It gets you 20% off. So you could do a monthly, you could do a year subscription, whatever is your cup of tea, whatever floats your boat. Go ahead and do that. But let's continue here with pick number 2, and it's going to be Zach Wilson. I don't know what's going on with the whole Sam Darnold thing, but outside of the Jets trading out of here, I can't see them doing anything else but take Zach Wilson. And just a heads up. We'll get to it. We do trade Sam Darnold in this draft. And then at 3, yes, San Francisco 49ers, they're trading up for a quarterback. Justin Fields, I thought, okay, maybe they do keep Jimmy G and maybe get Trey Lance and then just start Jimmy G next year. But forget that. They're probably going to cut him or maybe even trade him. I think they're going to straight cut to the chase, get a quarterback that is ready to start now. That is Justin Fields, and I like him in this system. And then again, it's really hard not to like a quarterback in a Kyle Shanahan system. And then I do have the Atlanta Falcons trading out to their dread rivals, man. They just keep helping this team out after 28-3. The New England Patriots, they get Trey Lance. They have Cam Newton. They don't have to start Trey Lance immediately. Hold on, let's go ahead. Let's switch it to this. Yeah, they don't have to start Trey Lance immediately. Cam Newton, he could start for this year. But the way they operated this offseason and free agency in general, it feels like they are going to be active in this quarterback class, that they're going to make a move. So I really believe they're going to try to shoot up there, whether it's at 4 or maybe just sit on it and get maybe Mac Jones. It just tells me that they built this team to have a quarterback on a rookie deal. So I think they're going to do that. They're going to grab Trey Lance here. And then the Bengals, I have them getting Ja'Marr Chase. I know I'm a big advocate for them going Sewell here, but it sounds like Burrow is really campaigning for his old running mate in Ja'Marr Chase. So I have them grabbing Chase. Regardless, it's still a phenomenal pick. This is both a deep receiver and tackle class, so they could address that in the second round. And then at pick 6, I have the Dolphins going Kyle Pitts. I know it's a bit of a change. I think I might lean Sewell here, but again, we're talking about this is a tackle deep class. This is a very skilled offensive line class in general if they want to address it a little bit later on. But you're not going to find another prospect like Pitts in the next few years. Like Pitts, he's that darn good. He ran like a 4.46. Well, you might be like, they got Mike Gesicki. He's a free agent after next season. Plus, you saw what the Patriots did. They brought in Jonnu Smith. They brought in Hunter Henry. So now they have, so we have the Brian Flores, the Bill Belichick protege himself, doing the same with Gesicki and Kyle Pitts. And Kyle Pitts, he could play outside. He could go in the slot. You could do a variety of different things with him. If you just view him as a tight end, you're not viewing him correctly. And then the Detroit Lions, this was pretty tough with Chase off the board. So I ended up just going Micah Parsons. He blew it out of the water as pro day. I'm not too worried about the character concerns they have outside of, was it Jamie Collins? They have no one at linebacker, so I grabbed Parsons here. And then at 8, I got the Carolina Panthers with no quarterbacks on the board unless Matt Rule really loves him some Mac Jones. I got him going Penei Sewell because he's down here. I almost said Rashawn Slater. See, I didn't even believe that Sewell would still be on the board, but they go ahead, they grab their left tackle of the future, paired up with Moton, and suddenly you have probably one of the best tackle duos in the league. And then the Denver Broncos, this pick was incredibly tough. I was trying to maybe find a trade back, but there was no team I could really justify trading up, or at least no prospect I could justify trading up for any of these teams. So I was like, man, I got to make this pick. I thought JOK maybe eventual replacement for Kareem Jackson. He's on a 1-year deal. I considered the receivers, like really, I was like, maybe, and then even Rashawn Slater. But I was like, you know what? What Denver really needs is quarterback competition, and I know Broncos fans ain't gonna like it. Mac Jones. Mac Jones is gonna go somewhere in this first round. Get used to it. He's a good quarterback prospect. The problem is figuring out where. I don't really feel good about teams trading up for him necessarily. In Denver, I'd feel better if I could trade down. Just in this scenario, I couldn't really find a good suitor that would want to trade up. So we went ahead, we just took our quarterback. He's going to compete with Drew Lock. We had to improve the quarterback position. You may not be happy with it, but Mac Jones is a good quarterback prospect, and I have way more faith in him than I do Drew Lock. So then we're on to the next team being the Dallas Cowboys. Patrick Surtain, you could pencil this one in for the most part unless Surtain goes earlier, or if maybe they're higher on it like a J.C. Horn, but I think Surtain will fit the scheme a bit more. He blew it out the water as pro day. He has 3 years of elite production, so yeah, he's good. And then at 11, I got the Giants going Rashawn Slater. I couldn't justify trading back, because if I was trading back, I was maybe looking at Elijah Vera Tucker. But Slater's great. You could start him at right tackle. You could play him at guard potentially. So he brings a bit of that versatility. He's a very, very highly renowned prospect in this current class. So yeah, I think they get away with very good value here. And then the Eagles, they take Devontae Smith. I think they're just going to add to this receiving core. Yes, the receivers are falling some way, somehow, man. How could that happen? It's not like we just saw it happen in 2020 with Jerry Jeudy and CeeDee Lamb. So they got lucky, and they got good value here in Devontae Smith there to pair up with Jalen Reagor. And then Christian Darrisaw, I was tempted maybe to go edge. I didn't. They need a left tackle. Darrisaw, he really fits the blocking scheme there, so it was kind of an easy pick for me. And then I do have the Vikings trading back, and I have the Tennessee Titans trading up. I'm on this kick right now where I really like the Titans being aggressive and going after Jalen Waddle to come in there, be just a separator downfield. He's a monster underneath. He was actually the most productive player in the slot over the last couple of seasons in college football. CeeDee Lamb was probably number one, but then bam, Waddle. So yeah, man, I just love AJ Brown, Waddle. You could sprinkle in Josh Reynolds there on the outside and the inside. Same with Waddle. So I just like what it does for the offense. Then 15, we have the Falcons. They traded back. We're getting an edge rusher, Kwity Paye. He had a monster pro day. It probably is going to be the top edge in this class. It's really going to depend on fits, and I think he's a good fit for Atlanta. And then at 16, we have the Cardinals, J.C. Horn, kind of a safe pick. He really fits the scheme. They need to bring in more talent at the cornerback position, not just Malcolm Butler, so they grab Horn. And then we're going to keep rolling through these. Yes, I have the Jets trading up. Joe Douglas, they have the assets at this point. So they trade up, they get, and this wasn't the trade involving Sam Darnold. They trade with the Raiders. They get Elijah Vera Tucker. It's a Joe Douglas pick. He would love to throw him on the inside, even though I thought the likes of, was it Van Roden and was it Alex Lewis on the other side were pretty. They were solid, but you could definitely upgrade. And then Tucker, he does have the ability to kick out to tackle. So if you want him there, I feel like he's gonna go top 20. He's just a very solid prospect. And then 18, you kind of saw it, is the Miami Dolphins. They go Azeez Ojulari. I really like this pick for the Dolphins. They get a pure just pass rusher. They're on the outside. I'm a big fan of Ojulari. He's probably one of my top prospects. He's just a my guy. And then 19, this being the Washington football team, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. JOK, if you saw my last mock draft, you could tell I kind of really like this fit right now. It used to be Kadarius Toney. Now I'm really loving JOK in this defense, what Ron Rivera can do with him. And then at 20, the Chicago Bears, no quarterback. I considered Tevin Jenkins here, but I went ahead and I attacked corner. I went with Caleb Farley. We did this in our stream just last night, and I was like, someone picked Caleb Farley, and I already had this kind of in mind. I already had it tallied up, and I was like, dang, dude. Because I hadn't seen that mocked around. I was like, man, if Farley falls, he's kind of a good fit for the Bears. Hopefully everything checks out with his back. But, yeah, I kind of like that. Then I saw it happen on stream, and I was like, dang it, dude. I thought I was going to be kind of first to this, but it is what it is. I still like the fit there. And then at 21, I believe, yes, the Saints, they trade up, get Greg Newsome. They trade up, get their guy. They need a number 2. They don't have a solid number 2 just starter across from Marshawn Lattimore, who just got in trouble. So corner position, I think they're going to kind of be desperate to get something in this draft. So if Greg Newsome, if they deem him their guy, I think they're going to go after him. And then, I mean, this is the Colts pick. Chris Ballard, he trades back. So there is that. And then at 22, Minnesota Vikings, they trade all the way back here to get Jason Owe. Easy comp for him right now is Danielle Hunter. What's going on in Minnesota? Danielle Hunter seems to be maybe upset with his contract some way, somehow. At least that's the rumors. Don't know if there's much truth to it yet, but those are the rumors. So even if they keep Danielle Hunter, having Owe on the other side, who just blew it out of the water on his pro day, and you've seen the production, you may be like, yeah, no sacks. Yeah, go check those pressures out. Calm down. Pressure rate. That's how you evaluate. You don't look at them sack numbers. Sack numbers are deceiving. But, yeah, I like the combination of Danielle Hunter, Owe, and then you got Wonum, who's currently developing. He was pretty good as a rotation player last year. And then the Raiders, Trevon Merrick, excuse me. They have no free safety. This gets them a free safety. I really like the idea of them trading back and grabbing him. And then at 24, Pittsburgh Steelers take Tevin Jenkins. He could come in and immediately be their right, left tackle, wherever they want to put him. I think he really fits their blocking scheme if they're going for more of a power-oriented. But he also played in that wide RPO zones blocking scheme at Oklahoma State, so he can play in an outside zone blocking scheme. Don't fret. I mean, it was more inside there at Oklahoma State, but the dude can move. Jacksonville Jaguars, I've been liking Zaven Collins at this pick. He could be a potential upgrade if they decide maybe to move on from Joe Schobert. Hopefully I nailed it that time. Next season, so Collins, he offers a little bit as a pass rusher. He's pretty adequate as long as you scheme him correctly in coverage. I like him. I like him here. And at 26, I got the Browns going Christian Barmore. This might be a head scratcher because their defensive interior looks kind of deep with Malik Jackson, Sheldon Richardson, Andrew Billings comes back. They have Jordan Elliott from last year who was very good. However, they could easily release Sheldon Richardson after next season. Malik Jackson is a free agent after this season. And, I mean, you still get a very dominant rotation there. Andrew Billings, he's a fine player, but nothing like Christian Barmore. And just add Jordan Elliott into that rotation. I really like the idea of that for the future. I just think this is exceptional value. I think Christian Barmore is a top 20 talent. So for the Browns here, I went with my best player on the board. I would have loved Owe, though. And I did contemplate Jalen Phillips here as well. And then at 27, Rashad Bateman. They get that receiver for Lamar Jackson. At least a very quality receiver there that I think could be a true number one if they need him to be. I would have liked if it was maybe a Tevin Jenkins or Azeez Ojulari here. Those were kind of guys maybe I think fit needs more because a lot of people think they need a receiver. I think they need a new offensive coordinator. But Rashad Bateman's phenomenal. This is great value here. So Colts, Gregory Rousseau, he's got a lot of physical, or at least athletic upside. The Colts, they love that type of stuff. So they grab Gregory Rousseau. A lot of people pin him as a bust. Just keep in mind, he was a freshman just a year ago before opting out. So he will be a better player as he develops. So the Colts, they don't mind developing these guys. So 29, Elijah Moore going to the Packers. Dude, Elijah Moore, he's going to find him somewhere in the first round. He's going to find himself there. Just after that pro day, his play this season, he stretches the field vertically. He's probably one of the best slot receivers in this class. So they grab him, immediately plug him into the slot, just add in weapons for Aaron Rodgers. I know a lot of people are like, Aaron Rodgers doesn't need weapons. Yes, but let's start catering to Rodgers now, all right? I bet you he would like weapons. I mean, MVS, that ain't scaring me. Alan Lazard, he's fine enough. Get someone that actually can complement Devontae Adams well. And then I have the Atlanta Falcons trading back up in the first round because Buffalo, I knew I didn't want to go running back here because they don't need one. But there wasn't anyone I particularly liked, so I decided to trade back. So I have Atlanta trading up to grab running back Travis Etienne. I know they just got Mike Davis, but Etienne is almost the polar opposite of what Davis brings to this squad. He is a home run threat anytime he touches the ball. He is a threat coming from the backfield on passing plays. So, hey, man, I like it. I'm loving it. So, yeah, Atlanta does it. I mean, the trade back gives them plenty of capital for the future. So I imagine now any trade deal coming to Atlanta, they're going to be offering 3 first-round picks at this point, just based on what the Dolphins got. And you may be like, well, the Dolphins were a pick earlier. Yes. So what? If you're trading up for a quarterback, teams are going to be desperate. They're going to be like, oh, take our first round this year and next year and in 2003. Matter of fact, here's a 4th rounder for 2022. So, give you an idea what the Patriots gave up. They don't need the capital at that point if Lance is their guy. And then at 31, Samuel Cosmi, just another fit I like because I don't anticipate any of the other top tackles to be around when the Chiefs are picking. He's a good fit. I like me Cosmi. 32, I was going to try to trade out of this. This was tough. I couldn't really tell where to go with Tampa. So this one's kind of a pick for the future where I know they're in the Super Bowl window with Brady, but also at the same time, that team's kind of set at that point. Let's start planning for the future a little bit. So I went with Landon Dickerson. Ryan Jensen's going to be a free agent after this next season. Bam, you got your center of the future right there. He also can play anywhere along the interior. So again, this is just looking to the future. Dickerson could have been a first-round talent if not getting hurt. And then at 31, I got, here. We actually got to go all the way up here. Jaguars, they go Pat Freiermuth. I was scared he wasn't going to be on the board with the Jaguars' next pick. I went ahead. I just took him here. You get a weapon for oh my gosh, T-Law, Trevor Lawrence there. And also he's one of the I would say he is like the second best run blocking tight end in this class. So you get a nice all-around tight end that'll be there for years to come. And then the Jets, they get Jalen Phillips. They're going to put him on the other side of Carl Lawson. Scary. Just scary. And Phillips, the concussions are a concern. That's why he ends up on the second round in this draft, at least for me. And then I got the Buffalo Bills. They get a Santi Samuel Jr. The 30-inch arms do concern me a little bit. Can he play on the outside like that? He can really play any coverage you ask of him. And the Bills, they did implement more press man last year. So Samuel, he's got grit. He can play that, but still I'd rather him in off coverage. So he fits what mainly the Bills do, but I think he can come in and be impressed at the line. You could start him immediately in the slot if you'd rather have Levi Wallace there at number 2. So yeah, I like it. Then I got the Miami Dolphins going. Kadarius Toney, just a weapon. He's different than what they have there at receiver. He'd be a monster underneath Tua. Like, we don't. The joke is, how's Tua gonna throw the ball to Will Fuller when Will Fuller's like 30 yards down the field? Okay, I'm gonna solve that problem. Bam, because he's gonna have Kadarius Toney underneath. So, just weapons, man. Just weapons. Who do we got next here? By the way, the trade with Sam Darnold, it was with the Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers, if they can't get a quarterback in this class, I think they might look to Sam Darnold, be like, we can get him for a 2nd-round pick. That's kind of cheap. Maybe we could get a 4th back as well in that trade, just because probably the market right now for Darnold just doesn't sound too good. So I have that being the trade, Sam Darnold, and I think a 5th for the Panthers' 2nd-round pick. So you're not going to see the Panthers, I think, in this round. So, yeah. 37. Philadelphia Eagles, Elijah Molden. They haven't brought back, was it Roby Coleman? So he could play in the slot. He could play also safety. He brings a lot of versatility. He's one of my favorite prospects in this class. So I think immediately he helps just with that secondary. Really struggled last season. And then at 38, we got the Bengals, Walker Little, the ties to Paul Alexander. There we go. Former Bengals coach, offensive line guru. He speaks very highly of Little. Little came out, knocked it out at his pro day. So the Bengals didn't get Sue in the first round, but they grabbed Walker Little. He could come in, play tackle, maybe guard. Again, you could figure that out with Riley Reiff. So you do address it here, and you get Jamar Chase. Kind of fire. At 39, the Jets, this is the Panthers pick. They grab Rondale Moore. Can you just imagine Robert Saleh and Rondale Moore? Just LaFleur would be drooling. Rondale Moore is kind of built for this system, this scheme, so they grab him here. I just love that fit a lot. So just do some work. Zach Wilson, Elijah Vera Tucker, Jalen Phillips, Rondale Moore. Corner would be nice as well, but maybe you just bring in some vets, really. And they have a couple of pieces in-house that they've been trying to develop. So, well, granted, that was the old regime. 40, Denver Broncos, Richie Grant. This is a great pick. He can play slot. He can play deep. He could play in the box. He can do whatever you ask of him. So, phenomenal. It's just a phenomenal pickup. So Broncos fans, are we cool now? Are we good after the Mac Jones? Listen, Mac Jones might end up, he's at least better than Drew Lock. I'm just saying, dude, Matt Jones will at least hit his guys when they're in the flats. I will never forget that when going over Drew Lock. I'm just like, I've never seen a man overthrow like some guy within like 10 yards of him, just sitting there on the sideline, wide open, by a mile. That's why he fell to the 2nd round. 41, Detroit Lions, Terrace Marshall Jr. He can operate in the slot, so he gives a bit of variety. So if you think, oh, we can't play him immediately, yes, you can. So he's a nice, big and fast receiver, kind of a diamond or rough at this point. So look into the future. You get Marshall, you get Parsons. I think those are good building blocks. And then at 42, the New York Giants get Joseph Asai. I'm not too I don't know if I want him as a stand-up pass rusher. I more like him with his hand in the dirt. But Joe Judge, man, if anyone knows how to scheme around his players, it's Joe Judge. So I'll trust him with this. Dude, he's a phenomenal athlete. What more is there to say? And then the San Francisco 49ers go Jalen Mayfield. And in this instance, I'm probably starting Mayfield. I'm putting Mayfield at guard. I see him as the interior player. Maybe if Mike McGlinchey, if they don't re-sign him, you could kick him to right tackle. But immediately you could start Mayfield at right guard. I like that. And then at 44, Dallas Cowboys, they go Javon Holland. Did have to spend the 10th overall pick for him. You immediately just put him in the slot. Oh, but we just re-signed Jordan Lewis. He's not that great. Plus, Holland, he can play deep as well. He gives you a bit of variety there. So you can play him deep at safety. You got to love it. Jacksonville Jaguars, Urban Myers gets Ohio State player. Who would have thought? Wyatt Davis could come in, I think, immediately replace AJ Cann, who actually had a much better season last season than he normally does. But you can't, I don't know if you really want to rely on, oh, wow, you had an above average year. Nice. Now, let's see if we can improve that. So we try to do that with Wyatt Davis. And then at 46, New England Patriots, Tyson Campbell. I don't know, between the shopping of Stephon Gilmore, at least that was rumored, and then J.C. Jackson, potentially maybe a free agent next year. What are they going to do with that? I think they maybe go after a corner somewhere in this class. Tyson Campbell, I think he's a good scheme fit. Bam, I'm a big Campbell fan. And then I got the Steelers trading up to get a running back, Najee Harris. They grabbed Najee Harris here. They don't have to give up much. I think it was like a 5th or a 6th rounder on top of just switching second round picks. So they grab their running back. They got Tevin Jenkins on at tackle. They got Najee Harris now back there. So there we go. 48, Las Vegas Raiders get Dylan Raduns. They could do better than I think it's Parker that's currently going to be at tackle there. So they got Raduns, who could go much higher than this. It's just in the draft, good players fall. That's just how it happens. And especially in a draft this talented, yes, good players are going to fall. So the Raiders, they get lucky. I really like their class with Merrick. And then at 49, Arizona Cardinals grabbed Dyami Brown. Listen, I got it in my this. I want them to have someone that could stretch the field vertically. I think Cliff Kingsbury, he's going to try to adjust to where there are more vertical shots in his scheme. I really do believe that, honestly. Dyami Brown, he probably runs the best vertical routes in this class, at least in terms of what's available in his route tree. It's very expanded in terms of vertical routes. This guy's phenomenal, especially after the catch. He can make some moves. So I like Dyami Brown. I know some people will be like, oh, man, we want a running back. It's like, you don't really need it, though. You don't really need it. And plus, I bet you Chase Edmonds will be great in that position. And plus, running back, you get it later in the draft, man. Miami Dolphins, they had a plethora of picks, so we went ahead and just grabbed Javonte Williams, though, here, because I feel like we really addressed, or at least I addressed what I really wanted to. I just wanted to add more playmakers to this offense. Really, you did. Rondale Moore, Kyle Pitts, Javonte Williams. Now, like, we can go here in the 3rd and 4th round. We could start grabbing maybe some of these offensive line prospects. They're really good. So I like that approach. So a bit of a luxury pick here for the Dolphins, kind of, sort of. And then at 51, Washington football team, Liam Eichenberg. They could release Morgan Moses after this next season. What is it? Cornelius Lucas, I believe. The former Bears tackle. He's a free agent after this season. So they could grab a tackle here that they could eventually start in the future, or even start now. I bet you could win out at one of those spots. Like, he's very skilled, very skilled. So you're just kind of looking to the future there. There wasn't really, I wouldn't mind grabbing a receiver here. There wasn't really one I really liked. And then the other positions were kind of already positions of strength for Washington. Did I call them Washington football team? There we go. Just in case. Chicago Bears, I was in a similar boat, man. After Eichenberg went off the board, I didn't I was like, we could go with like Alex Leatherwood, but I'd rather keep him on the left side. There's not a guy that I prefer at right tackle there. And there wasn't, like, outside of Tylan Wallace, there wasn't much at receiver. So I went with Liam McNeil. Yes, we addressed the defense. They were shopping Hicks. Or at least Hicks may have been shopping himself. So this is just kind of looking to maybe the future to eventually replace him. They address the defense. I know it doesn't, like, these are good picks, though. These are good picks with Farley, with McNeil. That's kind of crazy. Replacing Kyle Fuller with Farley, Virginia Tech for Virginia Tech. I just noticed that. But these are really good prospects. These are good picks. Really wish they could address quarterback. Would it make it easy? I mean, at least they bring Allen Robinson back next year, allegedly. So, again, I just ended up going with the top guy on my board. Eric Stokes going to the Tennessee Titans. tight ends. He might be better in off coverage. The dude, again, phenomenal acceleration and speed. You do worry about coming from Georgia. Maybe not necessarily being a press might be better for him. But he can at least play that press if Mike Vrabel, if they want to kind of like rotate that. I know they play a lot of off coverage on third down situations, so I think this is a good pick. Eric Stokes, definitely a second round worthy corner. 54, the Colts, they take Alex Leatherwood. They're going to throw him at left tackle. They're just going to strengthen that. I like their first two picks. Pretty solid with Rousseau and Leatherwood. And then I went Jabril Cox for the Chargers. Kenneth Murray, he's not a coverage guy. Just happens to be the case. Jabril Cox is a coverage guy. Bam. You start those guys next to each other, have them both on the field at the same time. I think you got a very scary linebacker duo there. And then Creed Humphrey going to the Seahawks. He's going to come in immediately, fill in for center. Yeah, dude, he's just very good value here. He could have went a bit earlier. I think he could maybe be better at guard, but let's at least shoot him at center. That's where he played all of his snaps throughout his career at Oklahoma. And linebackers, man, they're going to start going off the board. I like Nick Bolton for the Rams just because he is, he's going to be a solid player in the NFL. And I think at linebacker, especially for the Rams, because they suck at linebacker. Literally, a lot of their guys are below average in terms of their starting capability. Nick Bolton immediately come in, be a starter. I like that pick there. At 58, we have Baltimore Ravens. They go Joe Tryon. They get the Matt Judon-esque player here that's just the power rusher to be next to Titus Bowser. So, hey, man, Rashad Bateman, Joe Tryon, those are solid first-round picks there. And then Cleveland, they go Jamin Davis. They brought in Anthony Walker, who's going to be very solid. That was a very good pickup, good veteran pickup. Jamin Davis, he brings the speed. He brings the length. I like that. I think they do need to get better at that position, obviously. So that's why we took it here. And Jamin Davis is good value. And then the Saints, you saw the next two picks. Who cares? The Saints, they go ahead, they grab Davian Nixon. I think they can improve on the interior a bit after losing a couple of guys. So a guy, Nixon, who I still think needs to develop a bit, you just throw him into that rotation. And then obviously the Bills, they're getting Ronnie Perkins. There was not many, I don't know. Anytime I get to the Bills picks, I really don't know where to go. I don't feel like there's maybe good value here, but Perkins is good value. You're kind of looking to the future. Mario Addison, he's not going to be there much longer. Jerry Hughes, he's going to retire someday. You got to imagine. So Perkins brings that speed Russian aspect opposite of AJ Epinesa in the future. So, bam. And then 62, Carlos Basham Jr., just a good fit. I think you could start him there on the defensive line. He's very explosive. So I see him more like a 5 tech. So I like that there. 63, Kansas City Chiefs. They go Kelvin Joseph. He's just a very good scheme fit. I know that they got quality corners there already, but Joseph is a guy, you can never have too many good corners, especially when you're in a league where everyone's trying to replicate, well, your success, Chiefs. And I know one of my subscribers, Casey, would love this. So this is for you, buddy. And then I got the Bengals trading up because Tampa, to be fair, you're bringing back a Super Bowl caliber team. I mean, you are the former Super Bowl champions. You didn't take too many hits in the offseason. So you kind of just keep just adding draft capital. And that's what they do. The Bengals trade up. They grab Quinton Miners out of Wisconsin Whitewater. The dude's extremely athletic. I think he'd be very good in Zach Taylor? Oh my gosh. Bengals coach. Why is it not coming to my mind? I know he runs an outside zone Russian blocking scheme. Zach Taylor. Oh my gosh, yeah. Maybe it was the whole ZAC that was throwing me off, thinking Zach Efron. But Miners is extremely athletic. Probably his testing was off the charts. Yes, he's going to be a bit developmental, but you brought in guys like Quinn Spain. You brought in Riley Roof, who might get slid into guard there with Walker Little being a part of this, drafted him earlier. So I'm not saying you can maybe start Miners at center because, I mean, Hopkins, he's probably going to be out at the beginning of the year, but he has that ability. I know he was learning center on the fly, but you like to see that he did it, and he did it extremely well. So with a full off season, he might be your starting center at worst. He's a developmental guy on the bench who will eventually be your starter when Reef and Spain are gone after one season. So I like the idea of training him. I think he's definitely going to be in play for the late second, early third, maybe even earlier than that. But bam, there's my draft. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I do have my quarterback rankings out. Check those out. More rankings to come after somewhere around April 2nd. It will start back up. But until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later. That was so weird.